What's up everybody, Atticus here. So today I'm revisiting the Warrior pre-PvP best in slot gear list. In the first one I admittedly got some things wrong, and now Dire Maul is out, so the list changes a little bit for PvP, and I figure this is a great time to redo this so everyone is on the right page. Let's get into it. As a main focus, your priority will always go as follows for PvP. Hit cap, armor and stam are close to equal, then crit chance, then attack power. Now that doesn't mean that attack power isn't important, it's just that warriors are a class that is very susceptible to CC, so we have to bulk up our defense in order to weather the storm before we can try to smash them. And of course, hit cap is the most important thing to shoot for. That being said, we do have to sacrifice a little bit of armor and stamina from time to time to make sure we are capped. So to start us off, we have our head slot. Lionheart helm is going to be your best helmet from beginning to end. Though it is a really expensive piece, it's still highly important that you work toward getting it. But in the meantime, it's very easy for you to farm Mask of Unforgiven, which drops from the Unforgiven in Stratholme. You can get to him by entering either side, but it's easiest to enter through the side gate on Undead side. It's roughly 4 pulls away from the door. On to our next slot, and Onyxia Tooth Pendant is your best option here with the plus to hit, crit, and stamina it gives. But unless you're a key member in your guild or really lucky in a pug that doesn't reserve the head, then you're going to have to grab Mark of Forging, which comes from a lengthy quest chain that starts in WPL and sends you through Stratholme. Next up, we've got Spalders of Valor for your shoulder slot. They have really well-rounded stats, obviously good armor because they're plate, and decently easy to farm from rend runs. But if you're having trouble getting your hit cap, True Strike shoulders can help you out, which are equally easy to farm from the same run in Ubers off the first boss, Pyrogard Emberseer. Cloak comes after that, and we've got Stone Skin Gargoyle Cape, which comes from the rare spawn Stone Spine and Stratholme Undead side. He runs around like a damn madman with all the other gargoyles when you first get into the area with the ziggurats. Just make a slash target macro for him and clear the first couple packs and stand there and spam for him. But another great option is Cape of the Black Baron, which drops from the last boss in Strat Undead, Baron Rivendare. The only reason this takes the number 2 slot is because of the lack of stamina, but either way, both of these work pretty well. Now for the most annoying piece to get, at least for me, Savage Gladiator Chain. This is pretty easy to farm, but the drop rate is absolutely atrocious. It's from the Arena event in BRD. There are a few different bosses that can spawn, and Gorosh the Dervish has the lowest spawn chance, and on top of that, the chest piece only has a 9% drop chance, so it ends up being like a 1% chance to get it from each run. Nonetheless, it's the best you can get for a very long time, and so easy to farm it's worth doing until you get it. Now on the other hand, for a little less stats and a much higher drop chance, you can farm Death Dealer Breastplate from either the Dark Coffer Room or the Seven Dwarves event in BRD. On to wrist, and we've got 2 solid options. Battleborn Bracers take the number 1 slot because of the hit rating, and Vam Braces of the Sadist for some extra stats. So if you need the hit rating, then go with Battleborn, which drops from Rend and Upper Blackrock Spire, but if you're already hit capped with other gear, then use Vam Braces, which drop from Timmy and Strat Live. Gloves. Now these are important, and while there are going to be other pieces that offer better raw stats, these 2 are super important because of the immunity to disarm. Getting disarmed in PvP is one of the last things you want to happen to you. Also, having immunity to disarm built into your gloves allows you to put Crusader on your weapon. So Stronghold gauntlets are the best here, but they're very expensive to have made, so a much easier to obtain option will be Death Grips, which drop from Magistrate and Strat Undead. There are 2 ways to get to him. You can enter through the side gate and Undead side, but as soon as you open the gate on the inside, it triggers an event and he runs from the front of the dungeon all the way to the back, forcing you to pretty much do the entire dungeon to kill him. But if you enter from live side, you can clear up to Unforgiven, clear a couple more packs, and then fight him right next to the side gate entrance, then run out there, reset, and wrap around back in live side. For your belt, the best is going to be Onslaught Girdle, which is a little bit difficult to get since it drops from Rag and MC, so an easier to obtain option that still has hit chance is going to be Brigham Girdle from Dracasath and Ubers. Your legs are going to be difficult to get, but Cloudkeeper leg plates are definitely top of the list for PvP. Great solid stats and a really good on-use effect. The problem is that they are a BOE world drop and can cost upwards of 1,000 gold, so a much easier to obtain option would be Eldritch Reinforced Leg Plates, which drop from Prince Tortheldrin in Dire Maul West. These will actually end up giving more crit overall, but just slightly less strength, and you obviously miss out on having the on-use, but still really good. Now for boots, the Boots of Valor rank highest because of the well-rounded stats and high stamina, and these drop from Cortonus and Skolo, but you could also buy Battle Chaser's Greaves off the AH. A little less stam but more offensive stats, and worth mentioning here just so you have something else in your toolkit are Ornate Mithril Boots. The on-use effect is super useful, and the downside of course is no stats and a 30-minute cooldown, but they're worth roaming around in until you have to use them, then just swap them out for your main boots until the cooldown is up. On to rings, and the best combination you can have is Quick Strike Ring and Band of Acuria, which both come from Molten Core, so these may not be too easy to get. But 2 other solid options which are pretty easy to farm are Blackstone Ring from Princess and Mara and Painweaver Band from Dracasath and Ubers. As far as trinkets go, there are only two real options here. Blackhand's Breath, which comes from a quest that's part of the Onyxia attunement, so no one should have a problem getting this, and Hand of Justice, which has a really low drop rate but is easy to farm currently because it drops from General Anger Forge in BRD. In later phases, it is moved to the loot table of Emperor in BRD, so farm it while it's easy. And of course you want to get your PvP trinket as soon as you can and swap out Blackhand's Breath for it. For your ranged, Striker's Mark is your best option, but it will be hard to get as it comes from MC, so instead you can go with Satyr's Bow, which drops from Zevram Thornhoof in Dire Maul East, or with the same stats, Black Crow from Shadowhunter Voshkajan in LBRS. For your sword and board, you can realistically use anything that's decent, but Riven Spike and Silent Fang both offer some utility that can be really useful in PvP. Riven Spike drops from Spirestone Butcher in LBRS, which is a rare spawn, so you can fish for it with a /target macro once you've cleared a few pulls into the dungeon. And Silent Fang drops from Dark Master Gandling, which is the last boss of Skolo. And your best shield will be Skullflame Shield for the lifesteal and on-hit damage proc, but it's a BoE epic and can be expensive, so an easier to obtain option is Crest of Retribution from Ramstein and Strat Undead. And last but not least, your two-hander. Generally speaking, any of the two-handers from MC will be better than any of the blues you can get for the raw damage, but the best obviously would be Hand of Rag. But a little more realistic option would be Bone Reaver's Edge for the armor pin proc, and an even more realistic option would be Obsidian Edge Blade for the huge amount of strength. Aside from that, Barbarous Blade from King Gordok in Dire Maul North, and Dreadforge Retaliator from Emperor in BRD will be your best bet and easy to farm options. That wraps it up for this one. I hope it helped you out. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and comment. Also follow me on Twitch for daily live streams at twitch.tv/Atticus. I'll leave a link down below. Thanks for watching, y'all. I'm out.